6. Have you ever wondered how many times the meat on your plate has been thawed, cooked, and reheated? It sounds unbelievable, but this is the reality in many famous restaurants in America. Raw meat left out for hours, stored next to cooked food, or even pre-cooked and reheated throughout the lunch service, all still served as if it's fresh. It's not about being cheap or luxurious. Chains like Outback, Applebees, or Cheesecake Factory have all been accused of violating meat handling protocols, yet few people know about it. This video will reveal the truth, and if you care about your health, you'd better not look away from the screen. Comment number 1 if you're shocked after watching the video. Panera Bread, a wholesome image, a troubling reality. Panera Bread, a name that evokes a sense of safety, comfort, and an ideal spot for a healthy breakfast or working with a laptop over a cup of coffee. But few suspect that behind this refined image lie serious cracks in food safety, especially when it comes to meat. Unlike industrial fast food chains, Panera builds its brand around the idea of fresh and clean. But its fast-paced service model, small kitchens, and minimal staffing make meat handling riskier than ever. Chicken, beef, and even bacon are often hastily reheated, left on warming trays for hours, or worse, added straight to salads without temperature checks. Some former employees have revealed that sometimes meat sits out from early morning until early afternoon and is still served to customers. And if you think pre-cooked meat just needs reheating, is safe, think again. Even a small mistake in the reheating process can turn your meal into a breeding ground for dangerous bacteria like Salmonella or E. coli. The online ordering and quick pickup systems seem convenient but are a weak point. When sandwiches or salads sit in warm air for tens of minutes waiting for pickup, the meat inside can slip out of the safe temperature zone. Every bag of food left on a shelf is a gamble that diners don't even know they're taking. Tender, juicy chicken, slightly chewy, or overly cold beef. These aren't just cooking errors. They could be signs of improper handling processes. Some locations have been fined by health inspectors for storing cooked and raw meat together, using the same tongs for both, or storing meat incorrectly in refrigerators. Panera may make you feel safe with its appearance, but when it comes to meat, don't let the healthy vibe fool you. That light lunch might be the last thing you should eat today. The Cheesecake Factory. Beautiful on the outside, chaotic on the inside. The Cheesecake Factory. A cozy space with warm golden lighting, an overwhelmingly diverse menu, and massive portions. But behind this glamorous facade, something few expect is quietly happening. Careless meat handling, subtle but full of risks. Once a symbol of affordable luxury, this chain has repeatedly been warned by health inspectors about its meat storage and preparation practices. During one inspection, staff found raw chicken leaking juices onto fresh vegetables below. A place serving thousands of customers daily, yet allowing raw meat, cooked meat, and fresh produce to share the same cold storage space. That's no longer a minor oversight, but a sign of an overloaded and poorly controlled system. The meat at Cheesecake Factory isn't always as fresh as advertised. Multiple insider sources say the sheer volume of meat inventory makes tracking expiration dates vague. Meat may be thawed, repackaged, or even forgotten in the fridge until urgently needed. Steaks are hastily heated, chicken reheated twice, and eye-catching presentations are sometimes the only way to mask meat that's faded, dehydrated, and questionable. One of the most serious issues is the pace of service. During peak hours, kitchens may handle over 100 pounds of meat, leading to shortcuts in reheating, storage, and temperature checks. This results in customers receiving dishes that are hot on the outside, cold on the inside, the perfect temperature for bacteria to thrive. The Cheesecake Factory doesn't publicize food safety incidents. Customers only see this dish is temporarily unavailable, without knowing the real reason might be contaminated or expired meat. While they're immersed in elegant lighting and beautifully plated dishes, a health risk might be hiding right under that perfect sauce. Chili's. If it doesn't smell bad, it's served. Chili's, a name tied to family-friendly vibes, signature grilled ribs, and a welcoming atmosphere. But behind the laughter and the savory aroma of grilled meat lies a truth few dare to face. If it doesn't smell bad, it goes on the plate. A standard no one wants for their dinner is quietly present in the kitchens of many Chili's locations across America. According to former employees and health inspection reports from states like Texas, Arizona, and Florida, meat delivered to Chili's is often left outside for hours due to understaffing. Many times, meat trays are moved to cold storage only after showing signs of spoilage. No temperature checks, no time logs, just a quick sniff to deem it safe. This completely contradicts every food safety principle. Worse, many locations use a haphazard meat rotation process. Old meat is mixed with new meat in the same tray to save space. This makes it nearly impossible for staff to identify which pieces are near expiration, and what's more concerning, any of it could end up on your plate. Once, a customer ordered fajitas and received meat still cold in the center. The restaurant later admitted it was prepared the previous day and only reheated to warm. In a 2022 report, health inspectors found blood dripping from raw meat trays onto the floor and reaching the vegetable area, creating an obvious cross-contamination risk. Some meat storage racks were rusted, failing hygiene standards. Temperature checks were sometimes replaced by personal experience and the need for speed. With restaurants serving hundreds of meals daily, such small errors can become major hazards. No one expects a grilled chicken salad to carry a bacterial risk, but with Chili's current processes, it's not far-fetched. And the scariest part? Customers are never informed. They only feel the stomachache a few hours later. TGI Fridays, wrong temperatures, high risks. TGI Fridays, known for its lively atmosphere, cheesy appetizers, and hearty burgers, is hiding a troubling reality: improper meat storage temperatures that pose serious health risks to diners. Behind the bustling bar counters are kitchens run on a learn-as-you-go basis, where safety protocols are sometimes sacrificed for speed. A 2018 investigation revealed that many TGI Fridays locations regularly stored meat at temperatures above safe levels. Instead of being kept below 4 degrees, meat was often left in stainless steel trays in open air, waiting to be cooked for 15 to 30 minutes, enough time for bacteria to multiply. A former chef shared, "I was taught to judge by looking, not with a thermometer. If the meat didn't smell bad, just grill it." This half-joking comment reflects a real lack of training and oversight. Worse, to speed up service, staff often thaw meat by soaking it in warm water or leaving it out on counters for hours instead of using proper cold thawing methods. Improper thawing not only alters the meat's texture, but also opens the door to dangerous bacteria like Salmonella or E. coli. One inspection report noted pork ribs left on a shelf above raw chicken trays, with juices dripping down onto the chicken below without any barrier. This isn't just a mistake, it's a potential health hazard. Employees also revealed that during peak hours, they're forced to serve meat grilled hours earlier, simply reheated to save time. The freshly grilled meat you expect might have been kept warm for hours, far beyond safe storage time limits. Such meat not only loses flavor but can produce toxins if stored improperly. To customers, TGI Fridays is a place to unwind on weekends, but without proper control over the small details of meat storage and preparation, it could become a major risk few anticipate, a steep price to pay for convenience and speed. Applebees, convenient meat but lacking hygiene. Applebees, a familiar name in the hearts of many American families, synonymous with cozy weekend evenings and tasty, healthy, affordable meals as advertised. But behind this friendly facade and appealing menu lies an uncomfortable truth. The meat served at Applebee's is not just convenient, but also harbors serious hygiene issues. Instead of being freshly prepared on-site, most meat at Applebee's is pre-processed, pre-cooked, frozen, and vacuum-sealed before being shipped to restaurants. There, staff simply thaw and re-cook it using microwaves, ovens, or pressure pans. This may sound efficient, but this process often results in meat not reaching safe temperatures, creating a risk of harmful bacteria growth. A longtime employee once revealed, "Some days, frozen chicken still has ice in the core but gets served because the kitchen is overwhelmed." It doesn't stop there. Many locations have been found violating meat storage regulations, from leaving food at room temperature too long to thawing directly on countertops without protective barriers. One health inspector noted that unused meat trays were placed right next to cooked food, creating ideal conditions for cross-contamination. In the kitchen, refrigerators are sometimes overloaded, with meat packages hidden at the bottom, forgotten past their expiration dates, yet still cooked and served as normal. Many customers have complained about meat that's half-cooked, half-raw, or even cold inside despite charred edges. Some ordered steak but received gray, mushy meat that felt like it had been reheated multiple times. One customer shared, "I cut into my chicken, and it was still icy," but the restaurant said it was a new rare style. Even more concerning is the internal culture of silence. Some employees claim they were told to handle issues internally when they found spoiled food or process violations, as reporting them could affect the restaurant's ratings and managers' bonuses. This means that instead of preventing risks, Applebee's sometimes chooses to hide them under layers of cheese and BBQ sauce. Applebee's may make you feel comfortable with its familiarity, but that comfort quickly fades when you realize that every time you order a convenient dish, you might be putting your family's health at risk in an unnecessary gamble. Outback Steakhouse. Grilled meat, poorly stored. Outback Steakhouse, where you can order a sizzling steak in an Australian-inspired setting, is a favorite for many grilled meat lovers. But what few expect is that behind the enticing sizzle lies an unsettling reality. Outback's meat storage practices have raised red flags at multiple locations. A 2019 inspection uncovered a series of concerning violations. At some sites, raw meat was stored directly above cooked food in refrigerators, a basic error that can lead to serious cross-contamination. Worse, some locations reused partially grilled meat that had cooled for hours before returning to the kitchen. This means the steak you ordered may have spent hours in the danger zone temperature, between 45 and 55 degrees Celsius, ideal conditions for bacteria to multiply. Food safety experts have emphasized just a few degrees off in storage can cause bacterial growth to skyrocket in a short time. For thick cuts of red meat like those at Outback, temperature control is especially critical. Yet evidence shows this is a persistent weakness in their system. Customers have shared unforgettable experiences, stomach aches after meals, or even hospitalization due to food poisoning. A couple in Texas reported severe diarrhea after eating prime rib, suspected to be caused by unevenly heated meat containing bacteria. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, former employees confirmed they were sometimes forced to serve meat nearing expiration to avoid waste. There's no denying, Outback excels at creating an impression. From the sound of grilling meat to professional service, everything is designed to make customers believe they're enjoying a quality meal. But that trust wavers when you learn that the most appealing item on the table might be the most dangerous thing coming from behind the kitchen door. Outback Steakhouse doesn't lack flavor, but what they urgently need to add is transparency and stricter quality control processes. Because a steak shouldn't just be delicious, it should also be safe for your health. Common denominator, a systemic issue. Despite their different styles, from Outback Steakhouse's Australian-style grilling to Panera Bread's healthy sandwiches, major restaurant chains share a troubling common thread. Their operations are optimized for speed and profit, often at the expense of food quality and safety. The weakness isn't just one careless employee or a busy day. The problem lies in how these chains design their entire process, from delivery, storage, and cooking to service, based on the assumption that customers won't know or ask questions. They invest heavily in appearances, bright dining spaces, eye-catching menus, and attractively plated dishes. But behind the scenes, errors like improper storage temperatures, incorrect thawing, and reusing old food occur regularly, almost as an unspoken standard procedure. With the massive volume of food consumed daily, a lack of tight control quickly leads to serious consequences. Assembly line work systems leave staff little time to check food temperatures, change gloves, or clean equipment properly. The pressure to serve quickly often outweighs the need to do it right. In such an environment, a small mistake can result in hundreds of unsafe meals. Many anonymous employees have revealed they were told to prioritize efficiency or were ignored when raising hygiene concerns. This management culture, which values profit over customer health, is why violations occur across multiple locations with a clear common denominator. And it's the familiarity, famous brands, or long-standing trust that makes consumers easy to deceive. When restaurants prioritize speed over precision and supply chains value volume over quality, risk becomes not an exception but part of the system. Customers only see beautifully presented dishes, but few see the trade-offs hidden behind them. Tricks to deceive customers. It's no coincidence that dishes at major restaurant chains always look appetizing, smell irresistible, and are served incredibly fast. Behind this is a carefully crafted script designed to tap into emotions, divert suspicion, and convince customers they're enjoying delicious, safe, and worthwhile meals. But the truth is far more complex and concerning. First, there's the use of lighting, colors, and artificial aromas. A burger might come straight from the microwave, yet it has melted cheese, glossy meat, and a pan-seared bun, just to create the illusion of freshness. And that enticing smell? It's not always from real ingredients, but sometimes from artificial flavor diffusers in the kitchen. Many chains use scent machines or repeatedly used frying oil to maintain a grilled meat aroma, tricking customers' taste buds and sense of smell. Next is the redefinition of fresh and cooked on site. Many dishes, from grilled chicken to sauces, are pre-prepared in factories, vacuum-sealed, frozen, and simply reheated. Staff don't truly cook but assemble meals like an industrial production line. Yet, menus boldly highlight phrases like freshly grilled, homemade, or chef's favorite, leading customers to believe they're eating handcrafted kitchen-cooked food. Another tactic is hiding information about food origins and mishandling incidents. Few know that fresh beef might have been frozen 3 times, or grilled chicken is sometimes restructured from meat scraps, molded, and colored. When issues like contaminated meat or hygiene violations arise, restaurants often quietly remove the dish from the menu without any explanation. But the biggest trick lies in familiarity. When a brand is so well-known, customers let their guard down. They think, everyone eats here, it's probably fine. This complacency makes millions of consumers victims of tricks that have been normalized over time. And that makes every meal out, which seems simple, far riskier than you might imagine. Advice for you. If you've always thought eating at major restaurant chains is a safe choice, it's time to reconsider. What you've just read isn't rumor. It's clear evidence of a widespread issue in the food service industry, where speed, cost, and branding take priority over true quality. And the ones who bear the consequences are none other than the consumers. You don't have to completely abandon eating out, but you need to be more vigilant and not let appearances deceive you. When served meat, don't hesitate to ask, is this meat cooked on site? How long has it been since it was thawed? Or simply, can I request it be cooked more thoroughly? You have the right to know, to ask, and to refuse if something feels unsafe. Pay attention to the dish when it's served. Is the temperature right? Is there an unusual smell? Is the meat's color consistent? A piece of meat that's cold inside, has a strange odor, or has an odd texture could be a warning sign. And if you feel ill after a meal, stomach pain, nausea, diarrhea, don't dismiss it as minor. Take note and give feedback to the restaurant or report to health authorities if needed. A smarter choice is to prioritize places with open kitchens, on-site chefs, or small eateries where ingredient sources are traceable. Places where the owner genuinely cares about each dish's quality, not just service speed. Sometimes, a restaurant without fancy golden lighting offers a meal far safer than a 5-star spot downtown. A meal isn't just about taste, it's about health. And as tricks in the food industry grow more sophisticated, you, the consumer, must be the most vigilant person at the table. Don't stay silent, don't be lenient, and don't let a brand replace safety standards, because in the end, no one cares about your health more than you do. Warning signs to watch for. There are small but clear signs that the meat you're about to eat might not be safe, and most customers overlook them. Not because they're careless, but because these have become so normal that no one sees them as warnings. Pay attention to the dish's temperature. A sizzling steak that's only warm on the outside and cold inside isn't just a cooking mistake. It might be pre-cooked meat, cooled, and hastily reheated. Worse, if the center is lukewarm or outright raw, you risk consuming meat that hasn't reached a temperature high enough to kill bacteria. Unusual texture is another red flag. Chicken that's mushy, spongy, or oddly chewy might have been reheated multiple times or stored improperly. Beef that's dark gray, has patchy spots, or lacks aroma isn't clean. It's a sign of repeated freezing and thawing, causing proteins to break down and lose natural flavor. An unusual smell is a major warning. If the meat has a slight sour note or a strange aftertaste, it might be past its prime or exposed to bacteria, even if it looks fine. Many restaurants use heavy sauces, butter, or strong herbs to mask odors, making you think it's delicious when your taste buds are being deceived. Another often ignored sign is the staff's attitude. If you ask about the food's origin or preparation and the server hesitates, gives vague answers, or seems annoyed, they might lack proper training or be hiding something. Finally, consider the wait time. A properly cooked meat dish served in under 5 minutes is unlikely to be freshly prepared. Remember, cooking meat correctly takes time. If it arrives too quickly, you're likely eating something reheated. These details may seem minor, but noticing and reacting to them can help you avoid a risky meal. Don't ignore your instincts. If something feels off, trust that feeling. In today's culinary world, vigilance is your first line of defense for your health and your family's. If the unease of dining at big restaurant chains makes you hesitant when ordering, there's another way. And sometimes, it's a tastier, safer, and more meaningful choice than you might think. Turn to local restaurants, small family-run eateries, or local chefs who truly understand and value their ingredients. There, the meat isn't mass-frozen, hastily thawed, or reheated in a microwave. Instead, you might see the name of the supplying farm written on a board, or hear the server proudly share that the beef comes from a farm just a few miles away. The chicken is raised antibiotic-free from a nearby ranch, and the dish is the result of daily care and attention. You don't need to be a food expert to tell the difference between truly fresh meat. A firm texture, natural juiciness, and rich flavor that doesn't need heavy sauces to mask it. These all speak for themselves. And more importantly, you're supporting the local economy, where farmers, butchers, and chefs work together to uphold quality with their responsibility and reputation. Plus, some local farmers markets now offer fresh meat weekly, where you can talk directly with the producers, ask about their farming practices, feed types, or processing methods. That's a level of transparency almost non-existent in big restaurant chains. If you want to be certain about what you eat and control the quality of your family's meals, choosing local isn't just a smart choice. It's a commitment to health and kindness. Take time to explore your neighborhood. You might find a small eatery just a few blocks away, ready to offer a truly trustworthy experience. We can't control everything, but we can choose how to respond. By asking questions, noticing small details, rejecting dishes with suspicious signs, and above all, choosing places worthy of your trust. Remember, a dish might be beautifully presented, served quickly, or surprisingly cheap, but that doesn't mean it's safe. And sometimes, the compromise in today's meal is a risk to tomorrow's health. So be a savvy consumer. Trust doesn't lie in the menu's glossy photos. It lies in knowledge, vigilance, and in your decisions. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.